just a few seconds behind Oscar at the checkered flag, and there were no more interruptions after the opening couple of laps. Is that a sign of progress from Red Bull, or is it just track specific, do you think?
I do think that we found a really good setup on the car, but I think also this track suits our car a bit better. Plus the degradation is quite low, so I think we know that we still have things to improve on the car, and we just need to get a few updates on the car, to help that. And yeah, some tracks will be better, some tracks will be a bit worse.
Yeah, it feels like it's been very up and down for you over this triple header, but how close do you feel you and Red Bull are with that car to being truly able to get into the title fight?
It's tough, I think. I think what we need to try and work on is just be a little bit more consistent overall.
8 seconds behind the winner at the flag, though, and there wasn't an interruption apart from at the very start. So does it feel like Ferrari are close? Does it need much to get you into that fight for victories?
I think we are behind in terms of actual performance of the car. We are behind McLaren and Red Bull for sure, behind Mercedes, I believe also. One hand, I've gone into that direction that I've been speaking of in the last 2-3 weekends, and I feel like I've never been as much at ease with the car than I've been at the moment. So we are extracting the maximum out of the car. We just need a better car. And I think a turning point for the season will be in Barcelona with the new front wing. I hope it can play a little bit in our favour.
You're just 9 seconds off Oscar, though, at the flag. So within 10 seconds of the win, having started 10th, do you feel like you've made personal progress in terms of comfort with the car and your performance compared to maybe a week ago?
I mean, honestly, I think in the races, all my races this year have probably been, I don't know, I've been very confident in my races. It's my quali, it's my Saturdays, which are not good enough at the minute. My one-lap pace, and that's because, like I've said before, I'm struggling a little bit with the car. Yesterday was not the car. That was just me trying to take too many risks. So I've just got to pick it back. Like I clearly, I've got the pace, and it's all in there. It's just sometimes I try and ask for a bit too much, and sometimes I get a bit too eager for a little bit more and want to put the most perfect lap together, and I just need to chill out a little bit. So yeah, a little break would be nice, and come back even stronger.
Did it feel important to hold your ground against Max early in what could be a championship battle against him?
I mean, not specifically against Max, but I knew I was so far alongside that that was going to be my corner, and I obviously knew it was going to be a difficult fight, given it's Max, but I think I did everything I needed to, and if the shoe was on the other foot, it would have looked identical probably. So no, I think it was good racing, and I think it was the right call.
And Max was pretty much able to keep up in that second stint. Were you just managing pace, or were you maybe surprised by how competitive Red Bull were compared to McLaren?
I mean, once I had some clean air, I could kind of manage the gap a little bit, but I didn't have too much more left. I certainly wasn't trying to disappear up the road in case we had a safety car or something, but I couldn't have just pulled out a bunch of lap time if I wanted. So I think the end of the first stint, Max was quicker, and that's obviously not how we want things to look. So I think we've got some things to work on after this weekend, because the competition is tight, and I think they're getting closer. So we need to try and take some improvements, but we're doing a good job so far.
And championship leader for the first time, how do you feel leaving this triple header?
I mean, I'm happy, but I think I'm more proud of the reasons why I'm leading the championship rather than the fact that I am leading the championship. I think it's been a great start to the year. Worked on the things I wanted to work on from last season, and it's paying off. So that's what's giving me the most satisfaction at the moment. Obviously winning races is fun too, but I think the fact that I feel like I've really taken a step up, and scoring the most amount of points when we can is the biggest thing. So obviously it's still super early in the championship, and I want to be leading it after round 24, not round 5, but it's a good start.
Well, what's the biggest learning you take away from this weekend? Because everything else has looked pretty encouraging from Mercedes so far this year.
Yeah, I mean, this weekend was looking really strong. We did no laps in practice in the long run, so I guess we couldn't really capture the fact that maybe we weren't on the pace, or we couldn't capture what the potential problems were going to be. So it is interesting. We didn't expect to be so good in Bahrain, and we expected to be stronger here, and it turned out to be the opposite. That's the nature of this sport, and everyone's working hard to try and find more performance.
The pace was strong. We saw you glance the wall in the middle sector at one stage. I mean, how close was that to disaster?
Twice, also in T4. You didn't show that.
No.
I was really scared because the one in T4, then I started to have some vibration, and I was just praying that it would have held on. Luckily, it was just with 2 laps to the end, but it was not a pleasant moment.
Does that show how tough it is to keep your concentration around here when it's such a flat-out race?
Definitely. I mean, and because every lap, it was more and more pushing closer to the limit, and obviously, you start to get closer to the walls and so on. So definitely, a couple of times I went a bit too close, but luckily I came away with it.
Yeah, it was definitely a challenging start to the season, but it was always going to be with the adaptation process, and I always warned that it was never going to be easy, and I took it step by step, and to be in race 5 at the level that I am. If you look at everyone that's changed teams, it's not easy. It's a big challenge, and I think, I'm taking it step by step, and it's working, and probably I'm still going to face some setbacks and some tough races in along the way, but at least if I keep the philosophy that I'm taking, I think we are in the right direction.
Do you feel like this is the maximum Williams could have got out of this weekend? I know you're a bit frustrated after qualifying, but have you taken all the opportunities that were out there?
Yes. Yeah, I think so. I think P8, P9 is kind of what we were hoping for, maybe P9, P10, but obviously with Yuki having his crash, that was the best of the rest for us. And after yesterday, it looked a bit bleak, let's say. But we team did a great job and we turned it around.
How hard was it to try and do something different, or was there nothing you could do to try and attack them with their straight line speed as well?
Yeah, honestly in the straight they were freaking fast, and Alex didn't do a single mistake. So yeah, 2 experienced drivers helping each other. I think there's nothing like I could have done.
But no mistakes from you either. It was a hot, long race out there. Are you proud of what you've done as a rookie around this track?
Yeah, I think I had a few mistakes, but nothing costly. So yeah, I'm quite happy with my performance. Like Japan, a solid race.
Well, it might be difficult to score points, but you nearly didn't finish that race with that close call with Gabriel Bortoleto. Just talk us through that.
Yeah, it was close. I think, I chose to go on the outside, but it was some risk by doing that. He obviously didn't see me, and I had to take the avoiding action in turn 2, and I gave back quickly the position because I was not making the corner to avoid any penalty. But it was close.
You said it'll be tough this season, but what do you think this car needs to maybe give you that little step to get in the fight for points more often?
I think we need a lot of performance. I think today we are P11 also because Yuki and Gasly had the contact in lap 1, and Liam had the 10-second penalty. If not, we were P14. So. Yeah, still a long way to go.
Was it that first lap incident that got you the time penalty that you received at the end?
I have no idea, to be honest. I don't know when I got it. I think maybe overtaking Doohan. I don't know, yeah.
Okay, and then positives though from this weekend. I mean, good qualifying, strong pace. Have you kind of built some confidence up over the last few days?
Definitely. This weekend has been the most comfortable I've been in the car. Just want some points, and I think we're doing all the right things. It's just needs to come together.
You were switched on though, so a cheeky pass on Gabriel, using Oscar as a back marker at that point, around the outside of turn 1.
Yeah, I had the tire advantage at that point in the race, but our race was kind of done at that point after we stopped. I think we were almost last, so but could have paid off, could have got something out of it.
We've had plenty of points though so far this season. What do you take out of this weekend and this triple header that you've learned?
Yeah, the triple header's been positive. I think we've been fighting for the points there or thereabouts for 3 races now, and 3 very different tracks, so that's positive, and we have a bit to analyse from this weekend.
It's been a busy run of races, and this one obviously pretty tough for you out there. So what do you take away from this triple header? What have you learned recently?
I think we just have to focus on our strength, and I think if we put everything together on one lap, we can be there on quali. I think then that'll make everything a little bit easier. We'll make our strategy a little bit more simple, and we'll
not pressure us into having to do such maybe adventurous things to try and make up for it. Today definitely there was a lot more going on and some more difficulties, but we just got to keep our heads down, chins up, and keep pushing.
Well, as you mentioned, there's been plenty of high points for Haas at the start of this season, and at the end of this triple header, what are the main lessons you've taken away from it?
There's quite a few that I said we need to put on the table and put together for sure. I think different pieces for different races. That's the difficulty. You know, it's not one every single time. So we will get a good work on that and hopefully come back well for my.
Still a bit of moving forward in that race, though, and you were competitive with the cars around you. Are there positives to take away from this weekend?
I don't know. In this very moment, you need to look at the race, from outside. But I think it was quite a big gap to the Racing Bulls and the Williams. But obviously starting from the back also doesn't help, and the strategy was obviously a little bit different to most others. But we'll see and try again.
I think it's one where both drivers need to be a bit more friendly to each other through there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know what should I do. I was behind Sainz, and I was fully controlled, obviously, in terms of speed. I was not like I'm nearly crashing to Carlos in front. So yeah, it's hard to justify which is wrong or better.
You said your confidence was pretty high going into this race from the weekend you'd had up to now. So how disappointed are you that you didn't get a chance to build on that, I guess, over a race distance?
Yeah, I mean, at least I wanted to experience. I mean, for me, every lap is very important, like this kind of time, and it's still third race, and for me, it's every lap counts to learn something, and yeah, it's shame that something like happened like this in early stage.
Hard luck, thank you. Is this something you think could be a penalty for either driver? Is it something you think is a racing incident on the first lap?
I'm not going to really comment on that. It's I know Yuki's intentions. I know him very well. I know didn't mean anything bad. It's just an unfortunate outcome, and obviously should not happen. But it's motorsport, and unfortunately. It's been quite a long time since we've been involved in any of this sort of situation, and it's never great.
You've been so competitive all weekend, though. Does it feel like a really big missed opportunity?
Yeah. It's kind of, feels like we would have been in the mix with Carlos and Alex today, and the incident itself for me doesn't matter too much, but it's more we look very strong and look like we could bag some good points for the team in that race. So on the positive note, we've been competitive all weekend, and it's probably on paper not our best track. So it just brings some good confidence, and we'll have to move on quickly, just build on those positives from the weekend.